Yo, what's the story? In today's video, a brand new firmware update for the DJI Pocket 3. And it's got to do with the record button. And this could be one of the most useful features that you would ever come up with for the Osmo Pocket 3. But not for the reason it's set out to be. Let's dive in. To update the Osmo Pocket 3 right now, you can only do it through the DJI Mimo app. And once you log onto the Mimo app and open it on your phone, I know Android users have had trouble in the past, but stick with it. You got an option to connect, right? It says wants to join a network. That's all good. It's going to do its thing. It takes its time. I wish this was actually quicker. Now, this is actually finally connected. There I am. We're here. We are connected to the Osmo Pocket 3. Now, we don't see anything going on here, so I'm going to turn my phone the other way, vertically. And we've got a new firmware, so you got to tap to update it. Now, if you've done this before, it's straightforward. So we've got a couple of new options. This new recording function is a big deal. Then all you got to do is just tap install and it's going to do its thing. Now, it's important here that the Osmo Pocket 3 is like at full battery or at least over 50%. And like that's kind of it basically. But don't turn off the phone, don't turn off the Osmo Pocket 3, because if you do, bad things will happen potentially, because updating firmware is something that can cause a lot of problems if you screw it up or if it screws up. Now, enough of the scaremongering. This is 152.3 megabytes and it's nearly done. Now, once it's done, we're going to dive into the one feature here that could really speed up your workflow. And once it's done, and you just tap done on your phone and it's going to search for the Osmo Pocket 3 and then it's going to find it eventually. And it's all good. So it says here not found. Now it has found it. If this happens, don't freak out. It's just the same setup as join and do the whole thing again. Alrighty, now this record function. Let's say you're doing this amazing take with the Osmo Pocket 3 and you press record and you're about to go and it's all amazing. Well, if you just keep the record button pressed, it's canceling the recording. So it's deleted that off the SD card. Now, why is that going to change the game? So I know what you're thinking. You're like, fake, if we got a bad take, we can just cancel it out and it's just going to delete it. That's all well and good. That is one particular reason that you would use this for that. But for me, the big thing here is if you shoot a lot of video on your Osmo Pocket 3, like a lot of folks are, then anything that's junk, it's just not about saving SD card space, but it's about saving your brain basically, because you're going to have to look through less footage. So if there is a clip that's just junk, as opposed to leaving it on like we would usually do, because let's face it, going into your camera, finding the clip that was trash, deleting it, it's not the most, what's the word? Look, it's a bit cumbersome, no matter what camera you have, right? And doing it like this just means that you have less footage to look through when you're putting your videos together. Now that's going to save you a lot of time and headache, because you know once you pull stuff off the SD card, and I can't pull it out because I've got no nails, nobody can pull out SD cards of the Osmo Pocket 3s. There are a lot of DJI products. Anyway, another story. But the thing here is that once you get the footage off the SD card, you're literally only working with what you need. Not a whole bunch of funch.
I'm pretty sure something's gone wrong on my brain.
You're not dealing with a whole bunch of junk. You're like delete, you're taking it off your timeline, you're removing it, you're deleting it from your hard drive. So that's the big reason to use this recording function. Now, stuff like keeping the record button pressed, I'm still gonna turn everything off here. That's not gone. So just keep it pressed and it's just going to work away as usual. Now, what about some of the other features that are on this firmware update? Right, there's a whole lot of stuff for the DJI Mic 2, including gain control and all that kind of stuff, because the DJI Mic 2 is a little bit low, but on the Osmo Pocket 3, they've kind of adjusted that. So if you're a DJI Mic 2 owner, that's a real big deal. As per usual in any firmware update in any product, they fix a bunch of bugs, minor or major. In this case, it's minor. Speaking of the onboard audio, you obviously, as we've discussed in the previous video, you can have a backup audio as well here, especially if you're using an external mic. So it's on here. They've kind of fixed the levels for that as well, and it's kind of copying the exact same settings. So that's a good thing. Now, the big other one here that is so simple, why you didn't have this out of the box is beyond me, but this is if you are recording like I am now. In the past, if you had pushed the joystick to the left or to the right, it would go the opposite direction on the screen if you were in selfie mode, which was just a little bit counterintuitive. So now if you push it to the right or push it to the left, it goes the exact way it should. See? Left is left, right is right. Hang on, is that my left? Your right? Yeah, anyway. Update the Osmo Pocket 3 firmware. Small little increments here. They're not game changing, but they're absolutely helpful. Something else that's going to be helpful is this video right here, which will hook you up with all the best settings for the Osmo Pocket 3.